Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj.
Swarupananda, Hare Krishna.
Humble obeisances. Hare Bol.
I have to wait for Bhakti Granta because he's always a little late.
Hare Krishna.
Who's that?
Avadut.
Avadut, Haribolo. Our great Pundit.
Bandit.
Pundit. You always say either you're a Pundit or you're a bandit.
I have a question already.
Yeah, already at the beginning, you know. You have question all the time.
You see, you explained in the morning that material sound can be transformed into spiritual sound.
Yeah, Prabhupada says, you know, so and that's our only hope.
But it is not the Maha Mantra, or it is.
No.
Can you give me an example?
It means the sound, you know, sound is sound. No? But the sound is either is the sound is material, if it is used for ourselves, and if it is used for service of Krishna, it's spiritual. So it's spiritual sound. It's called Brahma Shabda. It is not the sound is not coming from nothing or from us. It's coming from the Supreme Brahman, and it is therefore the only via media or a connection. You know, wire. You know, like like electrical wire. You know, towards Goloka. You know. Through the Hare Krishna mantra we receive, and by chanting that, so we can this sound goes straight. It doesn't go to Brahma Loka or Jiva Loka. Of course, they also hear it, but the address goes clearly to Radha Krishna in Goloka Vrindavan. Okay?
Yeah. I was thinking this Shabda Brahma is actually coming from the spiritual world.
Yeah, Shabda Brahma comes from the spiritual world. This I told, it comes from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It's not a material.
We don't produce. We don't. I mean, how the material sound can become spiritual is a little bit mind-boggling, you know.
It's not material sound. The sound is Brahma Shabda. Like energy is originally pure. It's Vishnu's energy, but if it is applied in the material world, it becomes illusion. Therefore, sound can either pull you down or it can elevate you. So that you know very well as a musician.
Yes.
I don't have to explain that to you.
I was even thinking about how you can transform snoring to spiritual sound.
You think a little too much, you know. Don't speculate.
Oh, okay.
Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport, you know, in this verse, I think 31 or somewhere there of the 5th chapter of 3rd canto. It is sound. Sound is and actually also Vishwanath, I read in his purport, in his commentary to this verse, that actually this sound is Krishna. Mm-hmm. Therefore it can be used. Therefore spiritual life starts with Shrotriya and Brahmanishtam, by hearing about transcendental subjects. And so in this way, and also the Vedanta Sutra says, what is the verse?
Brahmanishna.
No, I quoted it last time. It's only short phrase, It's
Brahmanishtam.
no. Shabda.
Punavriti Shabdaha, something.
Punavriti. No, not Nivriti. Nivriti Shabda, something. It means the sound, by sound, transcendental sound, it will liberate you. That's the only way. That's why it's so much important to chant, loudly, not only in meditation. So we can start?
Yes, Guru Maharaj, we can start.
You finally came.
Yes, I'm here since 6 minutes.
Yeah. But when I called your name, you didn't react.
Yes. I just came home recently.
Ah, okay. So you will translate. Oh, I see Vrindavan Vinodini is also online.
Čini nam se i Vrindavan Vinodini danas sa nama.
So.
So Guru Maharaj, shall we start with reading the...
Yeah, you can do that. Because I see in Serbia, it's always, most of the devotees are late. They just switch on around in half an hour or 45 minutes towards the end.
So, the 4th week of Srila Prabhupada Marathon, the 1st to 27 December 2020, we have around 15 devotees who took part in this week. So first one is Nayanananda from Zagreb. He has sponsored 4 sets. Then we have Jai.
Nayanananda, is he here?
Yes.
No.
Yes, Guru Maharaj, I'm here.
So you also, how much you distributed on the road?
220 or something. 220, we can say.
Okay, very good. Bravo. And in total, that means in total you have almost 1,000 now. Huh?
Yes, a little bit more.
A little bit more even. So
1,065.
you have to be careful that you can defeat, the Serbs here, because the quota is 1,200. So otherwise they become too puffed up.
2,200 or 1,200? What you say?
No, 1,200.
Ah.
Easy for you.
I think I will be around that number.
Yeah. No. You should defeat them.
Okay, I'll do a little bit more.
I have the heads already too much in the clouds here. Okay, so you and then you also sponsored 4 sets, huh?
Yes.
So you calculated them also, or you donate them to Serbia?
Yes.
It's a good idea to also count them for you. No, don't be selfish. It's a donation. No.
Yes.
It's Shastra Dana. Okay, go ahead.
Then we have Jai Keshava and Nayana Manjari, our Swiss-Serbian couple.
They're here now, huh?
Yes, they are here now, near Pančevo. They have donated 2 sets. Then Jaigor Jagannath from Becei, 2 sets. Mahalakshmi Devidasi, 3 sets. Vrindarani Devidasi from Novi Sad, 1 set. Dhananjaya from Sombor, 2 set. Bhaktin Maria from Sombor, 2 set. Then surprise again came with Vanamali's intervention. Maya Purchandra from Zurich, 20 set.
Wow. With Vanamali together or he alone?
No. He alone.
Oh.
But she inspired him. There are special ways, yeah. So Bhaktin Charna Gayer from Belgrade, 11 set.
Who is that?
Bhaktin Charna, who distributed book for the president.
Okay. That's
yes.
How we called him? German?
No, Charna. Charna.
Charma. Okay. I understand. First understood somebody from German.
Bhaktin Charna.
Okay.
Okay, then we have Željko and Madhusudana from Croatia. They don't for 3 set.
Child.
Yes, then Bhaktin Ivana, our local devotee from Subotica, 1 set. Then Rasa Vilasini from Australia, 10 set.
Oh, Rasa. She's online, I see her. Although it's her today is not her day, but anyway. Donate it. That maybe saves you.
Yeah. Then we have Bhakta Jordan from Skopje, Staropananda Sankirtan partner.
Jordan is dentist, huh?
Yes, Jordan is dentist.
A dentist. Yes. I remember him.
He distributed. He sponsored 2 set, and Jagannath Sevaka from Subotica, our chariot maker, he sponsored 1 set. So altogether for this week we have 64 sets, and altogether with previous week around 220, maybe a little less.
Very good.
And how much was distributed? I missed.
Yes, we have sponsored around 220, and we have distributed so far a little bit more than 200. I mean, I have in the card prepared. I just was with Mahesh and Kusumika. We prepared everything for sending for tomorrow morning. And after tomorrow morning, we will have 206 set distributed.
Jai.
Hi, Srila Prabhupada Transcendental Book Distribution Key. Good. Start, huh? You have the book ready?
Actually, I sold my book. I don't have it at the moment because we have missing for the set.
How you will read the purport?
I will ask one of the devotees who are present to help me to read instead of me.
Yeah.
What is the shloka?
112.
112.
Please, Avaduta, if you can prepare it in Serbian for reading.
Okay.
So you distributed all your Bhagavatams? No more Bhagavatam left?
No, just first canto. I missed it on the beginning of marathon, so I put it inside 1 set, and I will order it later after the marathon. So I will carry it.
You distributed all these first canto?
You mean from book lager or whatever we ordered?
In your place, you don't have any more first canto?
No, I don't have it.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Chana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodarandana Prachachana Ranjana Yashodarandana Prachachana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Nayanata Madhava Kunja Bihari Ayarata Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Prachachana Ranjana Yashodanandana Prachachana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jayarata Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayarata Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Prachachana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Jayarata Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayarata Madhava Kunja Bihari. You got the text? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we read from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, first chapter, text 2.
Čitamo iz Šrimad Bhagavatama, prvo pevanje, prvo poglavlje, stih broj 2.
Actually, I chose again from beginning because in Russia I started many years ago to go step by step, sloka for sloka, beginning with the 4th chapter.
Nastavljam nešto što sam započeo pre dosta godina u Rusiji. Tamo smo krenuli pevanje po pevanje, poglavlje po poglavlje, stih za stihom.
4th chapter means first canto, 4th chapter. Our Srila Vyasadeva was compiling the Vedas and the Puranas.
I bili smo započeli od prvog pevanja 4. poglavlja, kako je Srila Vyasadev sastavio Vede, Purane.
And also the Mahabharata, especially.
Posebno Mahabharatu.
Vedanta Sutras.
Vedanta Sutre.
So, but he still was not satisfied.
Ali uprkos tome još uvek je bio nezadovoljan.
And in the 5th chapter, Narad Muni appeared.
Onda se u 5. poglavlju pojavljuje Narada Muni.
So it was a very surprising visit.
To je bila jedna iznenadna, iznenađujuća poseta.
Because Srila Vyasadeva was in very felt very depressed and doubtful about his work.
Šila Vjasadev se osjećao veoma depresivan I veoma potišten oko svog rada.
So the light from the sky came at the right time in form of Narad Muni.
Svetlo sa neba je došlo u pravom trenutku u obliku Narada Munija.
Who helped him out of his dilemma and advised him to compile the Srimad Bhagavatam.
Da bi mu pomogao u njegovoj dilemi I da bi ga posavjetovao da sastavi Srimad Bhagavatam.
Srimad Bhagavatam means, Srimad means very beautiful.
Srimad znači veoma lep.
And Bhagavatam means the beautiful narrations about the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his devotees.
A Bhagavatam znači prelepi opisi svevišnje božanske ličnosti I njegovih bhakta.
Another name of the Srimad Bhagavatam, actually the original name is, because it is one of the 18 Puranas, Mahapuranas, it is known as Bhagavata Purana.
Izvorno ime Srimad Bhagavatama, pošto je on jedan od 18 Purana, on je Purana znači, njegovo izvorno ime je Bhagavata Purana.
So Srila Vyasadeva, he took up this well-wishing advice of Srila Narad Muni, who was empowered by Brahma to disseminate and to spread Bhagavata Dharma all over the universe, together with the holy name, chanting holy name.
Srila Vyasadev je prihvatio taj dobronamerni savjet od Srila Narada Munija, koji je opunomoćen direktno od Brahme da širi vedsko znanje I sveto ime širom celog univerzuma.
So he was then he started after Narad Muni left.
I nakon što je Narada Muni otišao, on je započeo.
Because preacher should not stay too long in one place, only as long as it is needed to give the message, then he goes to another place.
Jer propovednik ne treba dugo ostati na jednom mjestu, samo toliko koliko je potrebno da prenese poruku I nakon toga odlazi na drugo mjesto.
He's not attached.
On nije vezan.
So then Srila Vyasadeva he started to meditate about this instruction and he took up the process, he absorbed himself in the transcendence.
A onda je počeo da meditira na njegova uputstva I uronio je u transcendenciju.
And then he got this transcendental vision where he saw directly the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
I dobio je direktnu viziju u kojoj je video samu svevišnju božansku ličnost.
And he also saw the living entities.
I također je video I živa bića.
Means all the combined group of living entities, and he saw Maya.
Video je kombinovanu grupu živih bića, video je I Maju.
And he saw Maya could not touch Krishna.
I video je da Maja ne može da dodirne Krišnu.
Because Krishna is as brilliant as the sun.
Zbog toga što je Krišna sjajan poput sunca.
Maya is just his shadow energy.
Maja je njegova energija poput senke.
If you turn your back against the sun, then a shadow will appear.
Ako okrenete svoje leđa prema suncu, vidjet ćete senku kako se pojavljuje.
So therefore Vyasadeva saw the Lord is not in touch of illusion or of darkness, but the living entities, his part and parcels, that became covered by it.
I on je video da Krišna nije pod uticajem Maja, ali da su njegovi delići i čestice prekriveni njome.
Not all of them.
Ne svi od njih.
Most of them not, but of those who felt attraction to this material energy, to Maya.
A većina njih ne, već oni samo koji su ostili privlačnost prema toj energiji Maji.
They became covered.
Oni postaju prekriveni.
So then then after that, after he got this complete vision, he became very compassionate. He felt compassion for the conditioned souls, and he wanted to help them by writing down this Srimad Bhagavatam.
I onda je postao pun samilosti prema uslovljenim živim bićima i zbog te velike samilosti počeo je da sastavljaš I da pišeš Srimad Bhagavatam.
So anyway, I started with the 4th chapter, and some times ago, some Russian devotees, they requested me if I also can speak something about this 1st chapter and 2nd and 3rd.
Ali prije nekog vremena, iako sam počeo sa 4. poglavljem, bakte iz Rusije su me pitali da nešto kažem i o 1. poglavlju, i 2. i 3.
But because I only have 1 head and not 2, so I gave 1 because I'm already much further now in the 3rd canto, 5th chapter.
Ali pošto imam samo 1 glavu, nemam 2 ili 3, ja sam već u 3. pevanju i već smo u 4. ili 5. poglavlju.
Like to continue and go further from there.
I voleo bih da nastavimo, da idemo dalje od te pointe gde smo sada.
So now I'm using opportunity for Serbian devotees that we start with the 1st chapter.
Ali koristim priliku sa baktama iz Srbije da krenemo 2. poglavlje.
Because the Russian devotees later on also will hear it anyway. I translate everything from whatever is spoken and printed.
Ali ruski bakte će svakako kasnije čuti ovu lekciju. Oni prevedu sve što je izgovoreno ili štampano.
They're always very eager.
Uvek su veoma željni.
Not lazy. Whatever is spoken, whatever is printed, sometimes they even translate in Russian before it is printed in English.
Po neki put su toliko brzi, uopšte nisu lenji. Neki put prevedu čak i brže nego što je prevedeno i izdato na engleskom.
So here in Serbia and Croatia we can learn, become inspired by them, you know, how eager they are. They have so many books, all the Bhagavatams, all the Chaitanya Charitamrita, all of Srila Prabhupada's books, plus so many other books.
I ovdje u Srbiji i u Hrvatskoj možemo da učimo jako puno od njih, koliko su željni. Oni imaju prevedene sve Srila Prabhupadove knjige, plus još i neke druge knjige.
So anyway, so I use opportunity to speak about the first chapter, text 2, the 2nd verse.
Sad imam priliku da govorim o 1. pevanju, 1. poglavlju, stihu broj 2.
Also, the first verse is very long. It has about 10 pages purport.
Prvi stih je veoma dug, ima oko 10 strana komentara.
Even this one has quite a lot of pages, I think about 4 or 5 or something like that.
Čak i ova ima jako puno strana komentara, mislim ima negde 4 ili 5.
So we cannot cover the whole purport in one lecture.
Tako da ne možemo pokriti ceo smisao tokom jedne lekcije.
So, the beginning is Janmadya Sayata.
Na početku je taj stih, Janmadya Sayata.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. That means from very beginning on, Srila Vyasadeva, he points out the direction of the topic of the book.
To znači da od samog početka Srila Vyasadeva ukazuje na pravac u kojem knjiga ide.
Means in every author who writes a book, he gives I would say an introduction or of the subject of the book.
Svaki autor koji piše knjigu, on na početku da neki pregled ili neki uvod u tu knjigu.
In the Vedic literature, the introduction is called Mangala Charan.
U vedskoj literaturi uvod se zove Mangala Charan.
It means an auspicious invocation.
To znači povoljno prizivanje ili prizivanje povoljnosti.
It means the author, he prays to the Supreme Lord, to the object of his subject or of his book.
To znači da autor se moli za... I'm sorry, I lost the...
He prays. He prays to the Supreme Lord so that he can become empowered to write about him.
Aha, on se moli Gospodu da dobije opunomoćenje da može da piše o njemu.
Therefore, he already from very beginning he addresses the Lord with the mantra Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Tako da se od samog početka on oslovljava Gospodina pomoću ove mantre.
So that it is already clear from very beginning, the topic is not Mayavada, it is Vaishnavism, it is approach of the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Tako da od samog početka bude jasno da tema knjige nije Majavada, već prilaženje svevišnjoj božanskoj ličnosti.
Who is known as Krishna and also known as the son of Vasudev.
Koji je poznat kao Krišna, također kao sin Vasudeva.
Also he appeared in this world as Krishna also and in Dvapara Yuga, the speaker of the Bhagavad Gita.
Krišna kao govornik Bhagavad Gite, on se pojavio u Dvapara Yugi.
And he's also known as Vasudev because he is, I would say, like the super soul, omnipresent.
On je poznat kao Vasudev ili nadduša koja je sve prisutna.
And everything comes from him. That means he's the origin of everything.
Sve dolazi od njega, što znači da je on izvor svega.
Janadi Asayata. That means he's the origin of he gives birth, or everything appears from him.
To znači da je on izvor, da on daje rođenja i da sve manira iz njega.
The material and the spiritual worlds.
I materijalni i duhovni svetovi.
But he created this world in such a way that even the great demigods and sages are illusioned or bewildered about the origin of this creation.
Ali on stvara ovaj svet na takav način da su čak i polubogovi zbunjeni kako ovaj svet funkcioniše.
Because since time immemorial they argue, is he personal, is he impersonal?
Jer od pamtiveka oni argumentišu da li je ličan, da li je bezličan.
How he created it, how he maintains it, and how he annihilates it.
Kako ga održava, kako ga uništava.
How he exists. Is there an existence above this universe?
Kako postoji, da li postoji neko postojanje iznad ovog univerzuma?
What is the purpose of this big machinery of creation of a universal form or manifestation?
Koji je smisao ove ogromne mašinerije, ovog kosmičkog oblika?
Because everyone who creates such a big machine, he has to have something in mind, purpose.
Jer svako ko je kreirao ovako veliku mašineriju sigurno ima neki cilj, neku svrhu zbog čega je to uradio.
Therefore, Srila Vyasadeva, he is the author of the Vedic literatures. Therefore, he is also known as Veda Vyas.
Pošto je Srila Vyasadeva autor vedske literature, on je također poznat pod imenom Veda Vyas.
So he made a whole presentation or an explanation of the Srimad Bhagavatam.
I on je napravio jednu čitavu prezentaciju i objašnjenje Srimad Bhagavatam.
Srimad Bhagavatam deals with the supreme theology, that means a religion of understanding or devotion to the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Srimad Bhagavatam se bavi vrhunskom teologijom, a to je opisima i odnosom sa vrhovnom božanskom ličnošću.
Every Purana, especially the Mahapuranas, 18 of them, they have 10 subject matters, subjects or topics.
Svaka Purana, svaka od njih 18 ima 10 tema.
The first one is Sarga, creation. Second one is secondary creation by Lord Brahma. The first one, elementary creation by Lord Vishnu, the Purusha.
Prva je, I mix them a little.
The first creation is elementary creation. It's called Sarga.
Prvo stvaranje je osnovno stvaranje koje se zove Sarga.
Sarga is elementary creation.
Sarga je prvo stvaranje.
Elementar. Sankhya, earth, water, fire, air, ether, what we discuss in the morning always.
stvaranje elemenata.
Yes, to je prvostepeno stvaranje grubih materijalnih elemenata koji se opisuju u sanki zemlje, vatre, voda, vazduha, etra.
That means that from the Purusha, the whole subtle creation becomes manifested.
To znači da od Puruše sva suptilna manifestacija se stvara.
And then Lord Brahma is he takes birth on the lotus of he's the firstborn who took birth on the lotus from the lotus navel of Lord Garbhodakashai Vishnu.
I onda tu je Brahma koji se rađa iz lotosovog cveta koji niče iz pupka Garbhodakashai Višnua.
And he is practically became like the architect.
I on praktično postaje kao arhitekta.
He manifested the whole universe in 14 worlds, or respectively 3 worlds. Svarga, Pur, Bhuvan, and Svarga.
I on stvara zatim 3 sveta, Bur, Buva i Svarga.
So Brahma is known as Adi Kavi.
Brahma je poznat kao Adi Kavi.
Adi Kavi Moyanti Atsuraya. So he's Adi Kavi. He's the first intelligent being, the son of the Lord.
On je prvo inteligentno biće, prvi sin Gospodov.
Was born without a mother. The Lord, he's so powerful, he can manifest Lord Brahma without a mother, without a woman.
I on je prvo biće koje se rodio bez majke. Svevišnji Gospod može roditi bilo koga bez pomoći majke.
Also Supreme Lord is all powerful. He can create without. He's not dependent on anyone. Therefore, he's called Svarat. He's independent.
Svevišnji Gospod može stvoriti bilo koga bez pomoći bilo koga drugog i zato se zove Svarat ili onaj ko je nezavisan.
And he knows everything. Abhigya and Svarat.
On zna sve. On je i Abhigya i Svarat.
Therefore, he is the supreme object of our meditation. Satyam Param Dhimahi.
I zbog toga je on vrhunski objekat naše meditacije koji se zove Satyam Param Dhimahi.
So after Sarga, Visarga, Sthanam, that means maintenance. How the Lord maintains the universe is described.
Onda nakon toga se opisuje nešto se stručno zove stanam, kako Gospod održava univerzum.
And Poshanam, how he protects.
Onda Pošanam, kako štiti.
Especially how the Lord protects his devotees.
Posebno kako Gospod štiti svoje bakte.
The next one is Uta or Uti. That means creative impetus.
Sljedeće je Uti ili kreativni posticaj za stvaranje.
Creative impetus means it is the Lord. Krishna says, Kama Asmi. I'm the impetus who inspires people to create progeny.
A Krishna kaže, Kamo Asmi, ja sam taj posticaj koji postiče ljude da stvaraju potomstvo.
So he inspired the great sages, Prajapatis.
On inspiriše velike svece, Prajapatije,
Manus.
Manuje.
He empowered them and inspired them, to disseminate the whole universe with population.
I on ih inspiriše da ceo univerzum ispune stanovništvo.
Not only human beings, also apsaras, angels, Gandharvas, Devatas, sages.
Onda tu se stvaraju apsare, polubogovi, veliki sveci, mudraci.
Animals, plants.
Životinje, biljke.
This is all created by and manifested by the Prajapatis.
Svi njih stvaraju i manifestuju Prajapati.
So then the next description is Manvantara. That means there are 14 Manus in a day of Brahma.
Onda sljedeće je Manvantara, stvaraju se 14 manova u jednom danu brame.
So all these manvantars are described. 7 are already appeared, and 7 more will appear. So the future manus also are described in the Bhagavatam or in the Puranas.
I opisano je da je 7 manvantari već prošlo i da će se 7 manova još pojaviti i sve je to opisano kasnije u Šrimad Bhagavatamu.
And the 7th topic is Isha Anukata.
Onda 7. tema je Isha Anukata.
It's also known as Avatar Kata.
Također se zove Avatar Kata.
Isha comes from Ishvara, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Avatar, when he comes as Avatar.
Od Išvare, svevišnje božanske ličnosti koji dolazi kao avatar.
Bhagavatam gives us a list of over 20 avatars who regularly appear on a scheduled manner in the universe.
Bhagavatam nam daje listu od 20 avatara koji se neprestano pojavljaju.
Over 20.
Više od 20 ih ima.
Over 20. 22 and sometimes 25. Main one, no major one.
A ima ih 22 ili 25, samo onih koji su glavni, a ima ih još i više.
Sutta Goswami, he says, actually the avatars are unlimited like the waves on the river.
A Šukadev Goswami kaže da su avatari neograničeni, upravo poput talasa reke.
So he only mentions the most famous one of them.
I on je opisao samo najpoznatiji od njih.
Most famous one is like Narasimhadev, Ramachandra, Matsya, Kurma, Varaha. So they're all Sanskrit names, so you can tell.
Ovo su sve imena tih inkarnacija na sanskritu.
All the different avatars, also Vamana Dev, and ultimately Krishna Balaram, also Buddha Dev, Kalki, Parusharam, and many more, like Nara Narayana. So they're all different avatar names.
Sve su to imena različitih avatara.
And also they're devotees, they're bhaktas.
I također oni su i bhakte.
Because whenever an avatar appeared, mostly there's also some devotees who are serve that avatar.
A izvinite, također sa njima se pojavljuju i bhakte koje služe tog određenog avatara.
So like Lord Nrisingadev appeared because of Bhakta Prahlad.
Gospodin Nrisingadev se pojavio zbog Bhakte Prahlade.
Lord Ramachandra appeared because of Hanumanji.
Gospodin Ramachandra se pojavio zbog Hanumana.
And many other devotees who were Ramachandra's devotees.
I bili su tu još i neki drugi bhakte koji su Ramachandrini bhakte.
So every avatar has certain devotees, and these devotees are also described in the Srimad Bhagavatam.
Svaki avatar ima određene bhakte i svi ti bhakte su opisani u Srimad Bhagavatam.
Many of them they're called Mahachans.
I mnogi od njih se zovu Mahajani.
Like Brahma himself is a Mahachan. Then Shiva is a Mahachan. Then Manu is a Mahachan. They're all great devotees.
Svi oni su veliki bhakte, navedene osobe, oni su Mahajani.
Narad Muni is a great Mahachan.
Narada Muni
So there are 12 Mahachans who are glorified in the Srimad Bhagavatam.
Postoji 12 Mahajana koji su slavljeni u Srimad Bhagavatam.
Swayambhuv Narada Shambhu Kumar Swayambhuv Narada Shambhu
Yes, Kumara Kapila Manu.
Kumara Kapila Manu
Prahlada.
Prahlad, Janaka, Bhishma, Balir, Vyasa, Kim, Vayam. So these are the 12. Vayam means the speaker of the verse is Yamaraj. Dharmaraj is also Mahachan.
To su njih 12. 12 je onaj koji izgovori onaj stih, Vayam, a to je Yamaraj ili Dharmaraj.
And then the eighth subject matter is, no, this is the 9th, the other one was the 8th, Nirodha. Nirodha means no, this is the 8. Before was 7, now we have the 8. Is Nirodha means the rewinding, winding up, going how to come out of material world.
A sljedeća tema je kako izaći iz ovog materijalnog svijeta, otići van njega.
How to go back home, back to Godhead.
Kako se vratiti kući nazad Bogu.
And sometimes also is described as annihilation.
I ponekad se opisuje kao uništenje.
Different element, how to say, different kinds of annihilations described in the Bhagavad Purana.
Razne vrste uništenja koje su opisane u Bhagavad Purani.
Like elementar.
Osnovno stvaranje.
And the whole universe become destroyed in the end of the day of Brahma or in the end of the life of Brahma.
Ima raznih vrsta uništenja, kad univerzum biva uništen na kraju dana Brahme, onda na kraju života Brahme.
Then there is also partial destruction in a day of Brahma and in the I would say sometimes also after one lifetime of Manu.
Onda postoje uništenje na kraju života svakog Manua.
And then there is also the destruction of the life of bodies of all living entities will take birth.
I onda postoji jedno uništenje kada se uništavaju tela svih živih bića koja se rađaju.
But these are not actually final devastation. They are always after devastation, always a birth or an appearance that comes again.
Ali to nije konačno uništenje, već nakon svakog uništenja opet se pojavljuju živa bića.
For the final devastation is the devastation of karma.
Tako da konačno uništenje je uništenje karme.
Just to die, to pray to God, let me die, and will not deliver us from misery.
Samo da se molimo Bogu, ma Bože, dozvoli mi da umrem. To nas neće osloboditi beda.
Misery is only stopped, samsara, cycle of birth and death is only stopped if we are become liberated by going back home, back to Godhead.
Bede rođenja i smrti će se jedino tada zaustaviti kada se vratimo kući nazad Bogu.
So this is the 9th topic of the Bhagavad Purana.
To je 9. tema Bhagavad Purane.
And then the final topic is called the Ashraya, the shelter, supreme shelter.
Ashraya ili utočište, konačno utočište.
It's the shelter in the supreme personality of God, that's Sri Krishna.
Utočište u svevišnjoj božanskoj ličnosti Sri Krishna.
So that's the supreme goal of life, and all other 9 subjects are the shelter of this object of supreme shelter.
I didn't understand. I'm sorry.
9 topics what we mentioned now. They are the shelter. Shelter. That means they're subordinated. They're assisting to the Supreme Lord's plan.
Aha, ovih 9 prethodno navedenih tema, one asistiraju Gospodu u njegovom planu.
That means they're not independent. These are the 9 subjects. They're only become important because they're in relation to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and also to the goal to attain love and bhakti towards Him.
I one su važne zato što su povezane sa svevišnjom božanskom ličnošću i što nam pomažu da razvijemo ljubav prema njemu.
So these are the 10 topics.
To su 10 tema
of the Bhagavata Purana.
Bhagavata Purana.
And as Srila Vyasadeva in the 2nd verse is pointing out, already in the 2nd verse he points out who is eligible for studying this book or reading this book.
I u 2. stihu već Srila Vyasadeva nagoveštava ko je osoba koja je dostojna da proučava ovu knjigu.
He doesn't say, like many authors nowadays, they write, if you don't have this and this understanding of a topic, then better you don't read this book.
Kao što neki autori nekih knjiga kažu, ako ne razumete ove teme, bolje nemojte čitati ovu knjigu.
Especially some New Age or, how say, esoteric writers.
Posebno neki pisci novog doba ili neki ezoteričari.
Then they warn the reader, better you don't touch this book if you're not ready, to accept the topic.
Onda kažu čitateljima, molim vas, nemojte da čitati ovu knjigu ako niste spremni da prihvatite temu.
Srila Vyasadeva makes a similar point.
Srila Vyasadeva je naglasio sličnu poentu.
He says, dharma pročita kaitavatra parama nirmatsaranam satam. Vedyam vastavam atra vastu shivatam tapatrayon mulanam. Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni krite kimva parai ishvaraha satyori yavarudya tetra kritipi shushubhis tatkshanat. Completely rejecting all religious activities which are materially motivated, this Bhagavad Purana propounds the highest truth, which is understandable by those devotees who are fully pure in heart.
Avaduta Prabhu bi stavio stih, još jednom da pročitamo. Hvala ti. Potpuno odbacivši religiozno delovanje iz materijalnih pobuda, Bhagavata Purana iznosi najvišu istinu, razumljivu baktama potpuno čistoga srca.
The highest truth in reality distinguished from illusion for the welfare of all. Such truth uproots, the highest truth is reality distinguished from illusion for the welfare of all.
Najviša istina je zbilja koja se za opću dobrobit razlikuje od iluzije. Takva istina iskorenjuje trostruke bede. Ovaj prekrasan Bhagavatam koji je sastavio veliki mudrac...
Why you read more?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Such truth uproots the threefold miseries.
Takva istina iskorenjuje trostruke bede.
These threefold miseries means miseries by the body, caused by the body.
Trostruke bede, znači bede koje potiču od tela.
Miseries caused by other living entities.
Bede koje nam stvaraju druga živa bića.
Miseries from higher nature.
I bede od više prirode.
Like earthquakes, floods,
kao što su zemljotresi,
how to say, epidemics or diseases.
Epidemije, bolesti.
This beautiful Bhagavatam compiled by the great sage Vyasadeva in his maturity is sufficient in itself for God realization.
Ovaj prekrasan Bhagavatam koji je sastavio veliki mudrac Vyasadeva u svojoj zrelosti sam je po sebi dovoljan za spoznaju Boga.
What is the need of any other scripture?
Kakva je onda potreba za drugim spisima?
As soon as one attentively and submissively hears the message of Bhagavatam by his culture of knowledge, the Supreme Lord is established within his heart.
Čim pažljivo i ponizno slušamo poruku Bhagavatama, takvim se negovanjem znanja svevišnji nastanjuje u našem srcu.
So here he makes very clear, Srila Vyasadeva explains for whom this book is very interesting.
I onda Srila Vyasadeva ovdje govori o tome kojim osobama je ova knjiga interesantna.
It is the main qualification that this medicine of Bhagavatam will work at you is if you're how we say free of how we say enviousness.
Glavna osobina i kvalifikacija koja je potrebna da biste mogli čitati i shvatiti ovu veliku knjigu je da budete slobodni od zavisti.
Nirmatsara. Nirmatsara means envy, deep-rooted envy.
Nirmatsara znači duboko ukorenjena zavist.
Actually, it is the envy why we are in this material world.
I zapravo zašto je ta zavist ovde u materijalnom svijetu?
We're all envious on the Lord, and therefore we all want to become imitator lords. We want to control and enjoy, independent.
Svi mi želimo da imitiramo Gospoda i da delujemo nezavisno, da uživamo.
So therefore the root disease of material existence is nirmatsara.
Zato je koren oslobađanja od materijalnog postojanja nirmatsara.
That means only those who are pure in heart. Actually, matsara. Nirmatsara means free of envy.
Nirmatsara znači slobodni od zavisti, oni koji su čisti u srcu.
Those who are completely purified. That means the devotee is satam.
Oni koji su potpuno pročišćeni i čisti, oni se zovu satam.
Satam means devotee. Those who are saintly by nature.
Satam, to znači bhakte, oni koji su sveti po svojoj prirodi.
So, for Srila Vyasadeva, he points out that this book only deals with the topic related to the absolute truth.
I zato Srila Vyasadev naglašava da se ova knjiga jedino bavi temama koje su u odnosu sa apsolutnom istinom.
It is approachable for those who are seriously asking questions about this topic.
I da ju prilaze oni koji se ozbiljno raspituju o temama vezanim za ovu knjigu.
Honestly, without pretension.
Iskreno, bez pretvaranja.
So anyway, now we go to the purport.
Sada idemo na smisao.
Don't want to speak too long today because this morning was already long.
Ne bih želeo danas da puno pričam, jutros je bila duga lekcija.
We can speak something about purport, the first paragraph maybe.
Možda možemo nešto govoriti o smislu, o prvom pasusu.
Let's see.
Ajde da vidimo.
So purport Srila Prabhupada says, religion includes four primary subjects, namely pious activities, economic development, satisfaction of the senses, and finally liberation from material bondage. Religious life is a barbarous condition. Indeed, human life begins with when religion begins. Eating, sleeping, fearing, and mating are the four principles of animal life. These are common both to animals and to human beings. But religion is the extra function of the human being. Without religion, human life is no better than animal life. Therefore, in human societies, there is some form of religion which aims at self-realization and which makes reverence to man's eternal relationship with God.
Smisao Šrila Prabhupada, religija obuhvaća 4 osnovna vida. Pobožne delatnosti, ekonomski razvoj, zadovoljavanje čula i na kraju oslobađanje od materijalnog ropstva. Bezbožan je život divljaštva. Pravi ljudski život započinje religijom. Jedenje, spavanje, strahovanje i razmnožavanje 4 su načela životinjskog života. Zajednička su i životinjama i ljudskim bićima. No, religija je posebna funkcija ljudskog bića. Bez nje, ljudski život nije bolji od životinjskoga. Zato u svakom ljudskom društvu postoji neki oblik religije koji teži samospoznaji i govori o čovekovom večnom odnosu sa Bogom.
Actually, the word religion comes from religia, that means to connect with the Supreme Lord.
Reč religija dolazi od reči religio, što znači povezati se sa svevišnjim Gospodom.
And yoga, what means yoga? Yoga means to connect with God.
A što znači yoga, također povezati se s Bogom.
So yoga and religion is actually the same meaning.
Yoga i religija zapravo imaju isto značenje.
Yoga is not just a gymnastic.
Yoga nije samo gimnastika.
not just an empty meditation or meditation about some fictive object, how to say, imaginary object.
To nije samo neka prazna meditacija na neki zamišljeni objekat.
So yoga means to focus the mind on the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Yoga znači fokusirati na svevišnju božansku ličnost.
And the purpose of religion has the same meaning.
A svrha religije ima isto značenje.
Another word for religion is dharma.
A drugo ime za religiju je dharma.
It's actually the precise word, sanatana dharma. Dharma means occupation. Actually, it's the nature of the soul to connect with the Lord and to serve Him and to glorify Him and please Him.
Preciznija reč je sanatana dharma. Dharma znači zanimanje. Večno zanimanje živog bića da se poveže sa Gospodom i da ga služi.
So the purpose of dharma or religion is not meant, to gratify senses, to get better sense gratification, to become rich, to ask for material prosperity.
A cilj religije nije tražiti materijalni prosperitet, postati bogat, uspešan.
Mostly people pray to the Lord for material prosperity.
Obično ljudi mole Boga za materijalni napredak.
But here it is described, Bhagavatam is kicking this away. That's not the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam.
A Bhagavatam to izbacuje napolje, to nije tema Srimad Bhagavatam.
So that means worldly religion, who only aimed on sense gratification, on economic development, or even liberation is not the topic of the Srimad Bhagavatam.
To znači da svetovna religija koja razmatra čulno uživanje, ekonomski razvitak i oslobođenje, to nije tema Srimad Bhagavatam.
Because these activities, to enjoy, to eat, to sleep, to defend, to fear, to have a sex life, this is common with the animals.
Jer sve te sklonosti da jedemo, spavamo, razmnožavamo se i branimo, one su zajedničke i za nas i za životinje.
So, but the human life has something more, a higher, a higher duty that the human being should execute.
Ljudsko biće ima jednu uzvišeniju dužnost koju treba sprovoditi, izvršavati.
And this is to live a religious life. That means to follow dharma.
A to je da živi religiozan život i da sledi dharmu.
Dharma cannot be changed.
Dharma se ne može promeniti.
So therefore religion, Srila Prabhupada says, religion is actually not such a precise word, because religion or faith, you can change.
I zato je Srila Prabhupada rekao da religija nije prava reč, jer religija se može promeniti.
For example, a Christian can become a Buddhist, a Hindu can become a Christian.
Na primjer, neko možda postane budista, hrišćanin možda postane budista.
A Protestant can become a Catholic.
Protestant možda postane katolik.
An Orthodox can become a Hindu.
Pravoslavac hindus.
So we can so this is all temporary. This is not the meaning of religion. That's not the real meaning of dharma.
Sve je to privremeno, to nije značenje religije, to nije značenje dharme.
So dharma or real religion, Sanatana Dharma, has nothing to do with just our faith or with some religion or with some kind of belief.
Dharma nema ništa sa nekim našim verovanjem, samo tako.
Dharma is that what is cannot be separated from the soul.
Dharma nije nešto što može da se odvoji od duše.
It's the nature of the soul.
To je priroda duše.
That's the nature of fire. It is it gives light and it gives heat.
A priroda vatre da daje toplotu i svetlost.
You cannot separate heat and light from the fire.
Ne možete odvojiti toplotu i svetlost od vatre.
Otherwise, it's not fire anymore.
Jer inače to više nije vatra.
So, or water. What's the dharma of water?
Ili voda, koja je dharma vode?
Dharma of water, it quenches your thirst.
Dharma vode je da ugasi vašu žeđ.
It's liquid.
To je tečnost.
So that's the nature of the water. If the water has not this nature, then it's not water anymore.
Ako voda nema tu prirodu, onda više nije voda.
Therefore, one always have to be careful that the religion or dharma never becomes polluted.
I tako osoba treba uvek biti pažljiva da dharma ili religija ne postanu zagađeni.
Also, original form of religion or dharma, sanatana dharma, eternal religion, is always pure.
Večni oblik religije je večno čist.
It's not mixed with material tendencies.
Nije pomešan sa materijalnim sklonostima.
It is not used to fulfill our material desires.
I ne koristi se da bismo ispunili svoje materijalne želje.
Therefore, dharma it's actually not changeable.
I zbog toga dharma je nepromenljiva.
It's also not depending on a certain nation or a certain region.
Zavisi ni o određenoj naciji, određenoj regiji.
It is not dependent on a building or on dress.
Ne zavisi od zgrade, ne zavisi od odela.
Or symbols.
Ili simbola.
Symbol, like Christians have cross symbol, Hindus have Omkara symbol.
Kao što hrišćani imaju simbol krsta, Hindusi Omkaru.
Muslims have their symbol, with half moon.
Muslimani svoj sa polumesecom.
So every religion has their own symbols.
Svaka religija ima svoje sopstvene simbole.
Unfortunately, in Kali Yuga, there are many, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur calls them dharmadvachis.
Naravno, u Kali Yugi postoje osobe koje Bhaktivinoda Thakur naziva dharmadvaji.
They're decorating their bodies and they're swinging the flag of their dharma.
Oni ukrašavaju svoje telo i mašu zastavom svoje dharme.
So that everyone can see to which religion you belong.
Tako da svako može vidjeti kojoj religiji pripadaju.
But that's not the meaning of religion.
Ali to nije značenje religije.
Because many of dharmadvachis, maybe externally they wear all the symbols of a religious person, but inside there may be still of so many material selfish desires.
Možda mnogi od njih mašu tim spoljašnjim simbolima religije, ali u srcu još uvek nisu pročišćeni.
So, but Bhagavata Dharma teaches us not to just become outside changed, but inside from the heart to become changed, to become purified.
Ali Bhagavata Dharma nas podučava da ne postanemo samo pročišćeni i promenjeni spolja, već da se pročistimo iznutra.
Therefore, Bhagavatam says Bhagavata Dharma can be practiced at any time, place and circumstances.
Bhagavatam kaže da Bhagavata Dharma može da se izvodi pod svim vremenskim, u svakom vremenu i pod svim okolnostima.
It's not limited.
Ona je neograničena.
It's not just meant for certain people.
Nije namenjena samo za određene ljudi.
For other people, it is not meant. And for other people, it is not meant. It's not meant for other people.
Nije namenjena za neke druge ljude.
It is meant for everyone. It's universal.
Aha, nije da je namenjena samo za određene ljude, namenjena je za svakoga.
Prabhupada, in the last sentence he says, therefore in human society there is some form of religion which aims at self-realization and which makes reference to man's eternal relationship with God.
Zato u zadnjoj rečenici Šila Prabhupada kaže nešto što ne znam, nemam knjigu. Avadhuta, možda mi pomogneš da staviš tekst?
The Bhagavatam also says, Savai Pumsham Parodharmo Yato Bhaktira Dokshashe Ahaitokya Pratiyata Yayatma Suprasidati. Only that religious function that actually leads to realization of the Supreme Personality of Godhead will satisfy the soul.
Jedino ona religija koja vodi spoznaj svevišnje božanske ličnosti može zadovoljiti dušu.
This is called paradharma. This is a supreme form of dharma or religion.
To je vrhunski oblik religije ili dharme.
So therefore, this is the topic of Bhagavatam.
Zbog toga to je tema Bhagavatama.
And if we are studying the Srimad Bhagavatam from very beginning, step by step, going throughout the whole Bhagavatam, then gradually will become more, one will realize Krishna.
I ako tako proučavamo Bhagavatam korak po korak, postepeno ćemo spoznati Krišnu.
And one will be convinced and feels enthusiastic to serve Krishna with body and with full heart.
I svako će postati inspirisan da služi Krišnu svim svojim srcem.
Not only externally, but also from inside.
Ne samo s polja, već također i iznutra.
Religion has to be practiced from inside, so it is the consciousness.
Religija se treba praktikovati iznutra pomoću svesnosti.
Many times we practice more externally, lip service, but and therefore feel no taste and then give it up.
Ponekad nemamo ukusa i zato to ostavljamo.
Or we do it artificial because others are doing it.
Ili radimo to onako veštački, površno, zato što drugi to rade.
But if one actually is convinced from inside, then one will never give it up and one will become more and more enthused and making progress in this process of devotional service.
Ali ako osoba iskreno se trudi, sve će više napredovati u predanom služenju.
Hare Krishna, stop here.
Hare Krishna, ovdje ću
I
stati.
see you are also tired, not only me.
Vidim da ste vi umorni, ne samo ja.
So there are any questions?
Yes, there are some questions in the chat.
Yeah.
So the first one is from Bhakta Jordan. Bhakta Jordan, can you please ask your question? Jordan.
They should write to you and then you ask question. Don't let them speak.
Okay.
You have a written question?
Yes, from Bhakti Namida Smailovic. After hearing through social media that Prabhupada's books are changed and that in this way the potency is lost, I developed doubt, aversion towards reading. How to regain taste in reading? Bhakti Namida Smailovic je pitala. Nakon što sam kroz društvene mreže čula da su Šrila Prabhupadove knjige promenjene i da je njihova moć izgubljena, razvila sam sumnju i razvila sam odbojnost prema čitanju. Kako povratiti da...
That what you speak, Amida, this is propagated by the Ritviks.
To što se čitala Amida, to propagiraju Ritvici.
No. But if you like to follow Ritvik, and then you should go in contact with them and just read their books.
Ali ako bih htjela da dođeš u kontakt sa Ritvicima, onda idi kod njih i čitaj njihove knjige.
Nobody will stop you. You're a free soul, you know, you can choose your connections.
Pa ti si slobodna duša i možeš da izabereš s kim ćeš da se povežeš.
No, it's not a problem, you know. So there are different Vaishnava schools and understanding. So if you like to listening to these voices, then you follow them.
Ako želiš da slušaš te glasove, onda sledi njih.
But don't mix up. Then don't mix. I would say. Then you should go that path.
Ali nemoj da mešaš, onda idi kod njih i sledi taj put.
Ultimately, we have to understand that there were corrections made.
Na kraju krajeva trebamo da shvatimo da su te prepravke napravljene.
Srila Prabhupada, I would say, first he recorded his books in. Actually, all his books were tape recorded.
Zapravo sve njegove knjige su prvo bile napisane sa traka na kojima je njegov glas zabeležen.
And therefore, the first editors, they made many mistakes in the books.
I zato su prvi prevodioci napravili puno grešaka u knjigama.
Because they, I would say, they could not properly understand Srila Prabhupada's dialect or pronunciation.
Nisu pravilno mogli da shvate Srila Prabhupadov izgovor kako on priča na engleskom.
Therefore, actually, the editing already started with the first canto, because if you read the first canto from Srila Prabhupada, what he wrote in before he came to the West, it's very difficult to read, because this is very, it's called English, Indian English.
Jer to prvo što je Srila Prabhupada napisao kad je došao iz Indije, što su bake zapravo sa kaseta snimali, to je ono što se zove indijski engleski.
Nije sa kaseta Granta, nego što je donio sa sobom, što je napisao u Indiji.
Aha, izvinite, ono što je doneo sa sobom kad je došao iz Indije, to je ono što se zove indijski engleski, te prve.
English was not his mother language.
Engleski nije bio njegov maternji jezik.
Therefore, in the first version, there are many, I would say, grammatical, not proper.
Tako da u tom prvom izdanju postoje mnoge stvari koje nisu gramatički ispravne, tačne.
Therefore, it was also Prabhupada's desire that this book became edited, re-edited again.
I zato je Srila Prabhupadova želja bila da te knjige budu malo onako popravljene.
And then gradually, later on, more and more books became edited again, re-edited, because of the grammatic.
I kasnije i druge knjige su postale prepravljene zbog gramatike.
The topic is not changed; it's still the same.
Tema nije promijenjena, još uvijek je ista.
It's pointing out the same direction. So of course, you can read the old version or the new version, but ultimately you see there's not much difference.
Naravno, na kraju krajeva možete čitati staru verziju, novu verziju, ali u suštini nema puno razlike.
No. So you can decide, you can check yourself, and you don't have to have doubt and say, oh, I have doubt now to read any book. So you can decide, and you are intelligent girl, as I know you. So you can read in English, you can read in Serbian language, in any language you like, and then you can also compare and see if you like.
Koliko te ja znam, ti si jedna inteligentna devojka, tako da uzmi, pročitaj koje god verzije želiš, uporedi ih, znam da možda čitaš i engleski, i srpski, srpsko-hrvatski.
But don't trick, mind is very tricky.
Ali znate, je veoma prevrtljiv.
Right, finding out some insignificant fault, or some so-called deviation, listening from other people's opinion, and then you immediately become bewildered and excuse yourself. Oh, now I will not read anymore.
On nađe neku malu grešku, čuje mišljenje nekih ljudi i onda napravi izgovor. Pa ja sad neću da čitam.
Transcendental literature is always transcendental. It didn't, how to say, the editing, they didn't make it mundane.
Transcendentalna prepravka je transcendentalna, ona ne čini knjigu svetovnom.
It didn't pollute the purpose of Srila Prabhupada.
Ta korekcija, ispravka ne zagađuje smisao Srila Prabhupada.
Clear, Amida?
Amida, da li je ovo sada jasno, razjašnjeno?
No answer.
Nema odgovora, nažalost. Evo ga. She wrote, unfortunately, that propaganda was useful for me in a negative way.
Was it useful in which direction?
In a negative way.
It was useful.
Yes, she said like this. Unfortunately, that propaganda was useful for me in a negative way.
I don't understand.
Me too. Ja, onda pojasniš, ne razumemo baš.
Let's go on. That's her problem.
Dobro, onda nastavit ćemo dalje. So now the question from Bhakta Jordan. I read that in Sankirtan distribution of Srila Prabhupada's books, is it so that Krishna personally distribute the books and not the person who try to distribute them? I would like to ask Shri Rohinisuta Prabhu to explain this point. Pročitao sam da u Sankirtanu deljenju knjiga, Srila Prabhupadovih knjiga, ne deli ih osoba koja radi Sankirtan, već Krishna. Pa bih zamolio Shri Rohinisutu Prabhu da obrazloži tu point.
You have to understand Krishna is acting, but he is acting through his devotees.
Da, trebamo shvatiti da Krishna deluje, ali on deluje kroz svoje bhakti.
For a devotee who is a little intelligent, he will always understand it is Krishna who is actually active. It's not me.
I zato bhakta koji je zaista inteligentan, on će shvatiti, pa da, Krishna je taj koji deluje kroz mene, to nisam ja.
But in the same time, Krishna, it is actually the devotee through whom Krishna is acting.
Ali, I'm sorry, some question pop up and take my...
It is the devotee through whom Krishna is acting.
Aha, bhakta je taj kroz koga Krishna deluje.
Like in Arjuna's case.
Kao u primjeru Arjune.
So Krishna told him, you have to fight.
Krishna mu je rekao, ti trebaš da se boriš.
Don't be attached to the result.
Nemoj biti vezan za rezultat.
Don't consider yourself the doer.
Ne smatraj sebe vršiocem radnje.
Don't consider yourself the cause of your activities and of your results.
Nemoj smatrati sebe uzrokom vršenja svojih delatnosti i njihovih rezultata.
Or of the outcome.
Ili ono što proizaći kao rezultat.
So ultimately it is Krishna.
Konačno to je Krishna.
For everyone who distributes books and understand it is actually only, it's not possible because I am very expert book distributor.
Zato onaj ko shvati, Krishna je taj koji deli, jer ja nisam baš neki stručni delilac knjiga.
Because as soon you think that and you are not become dependent on Krishna, you cannot distribute one book.
Jer čim to zaboravite i ne postanete zavisni od Krishne, ne možete podeliti ni jednu jedinu.
So that means Krishna is actually, I would say, making all the arrangement that you can distribute the book.
To znači da Krishna zapravo radi razne aranžmane da biste vi mogli podeliti knjigu.
Same way also with writing.
Ista stvar je i sa pisanjem.
It is Krishna. It is by Krishna's mercy that somebody can write about Krishna.
Krištinom milošću neko može pisati o Krišni.
Okay. Something else?
Something else. Yes, from Bhaktin Snežana Laslo. I have listened on some lecture about Vedas that Srila Vyasadeva is looking
Sorry, I don't hear you.
Is it better now?
Yes.
Okay, I have listened on some lecture about Vedas that Srila Vyasadeva is literary incarnation of Krishna. Why then he needed the advice and instruction of Narada Muni? Slušala sam o nekom predavanju o Vedama da je Srila Vyasadeva literarna inkarnacija Krišne. Zašto mu je onda bio potreban savjet i uputstvo Narada Muni?
The Srimad Bhagavatam is the literary incarnation of Krishna.
Srimad Bhagavatam je književna inkarnacija Krishna.
And it was compiled by Srila Vyasadeva on his stage of realization. He wrote down the Srimad Bhagavatam.
I na stupnju spoznaje on je zapisao Srimad Bhagavatam.
Srila Vyasadeva is Shaktya Vesha-avatar.
Srila Vyasadeva je Shaktya Vesha-avatar.
So he was especially empowered to divide the Veda, the one Veda into 4.
On je podelio jednu Vedu u 4.
And to write down the Mahabharata.
Zapisao je Mahabharatu.
Itihasas, other historical narrations.
Onda druge historijske opise.
And then he made a whole conclusion, that means Vedanta Sutra, and a conclusion of all the scriptures.
Na kraju je zaključio Vedanta Sutra, koja je zaključak svih spisa.
He also wrote some Puranas, because Puranas are also historical.
Onda je napisao neke Purane, jer Purane su također istorija.
This is a lila, because Vyasadeva is also lila avatar.
To je također i zabava, jer Vyasadeva je lila avatar.
So Krishna, for example, is the supreme personality of Godhead, but sometimes he asks for advice of Uddhava what he should do.
Krishna je, Krishna je svevišnja božanska ličnost i on, na primjer, ponekad pita Uddavu šta da radi.
Krishna and Balaram went to Sandipani Muni Gurukula.
Krishna i Balaram su otišli u školu, u Gurukulu kod Sandipani Munija.
So even that shows that even the supreme personality of Godhead accepts lessons from a great authority.
To znači da čak i svevišnja božanska ličnost prihvata poučavanje od veskih autoriteta.
And because Narad Muni is very well known as the son of Brahma.
I zato što je Narada Muni veoma poznat kao sin Brahme.
Brahma had many different sons, and they all became instructed for a certain kind of mission.
Brahma ima jako puno sinova i svako od njih je dobio određenu vrstu misije.
And Narad Muni's mission, because he appeared from the heart of Brahma, so his mission was to disseminate the bhakti process.
Zato što je Narada Muni rođen iz Brahminog srca, njegova misija je bila da širi proces bhakti.
Therefore, Srila Vyasadeva accepted Narada as the connection from the Sampradaya, from Brahma, Krishna to Brahma, from Brahma to Narada, from Narada to Vyasa.
I zato je Vyasadev prihvatio Naradu kao vezu sa Sampradajom. Od Krišne do Brahme, od Brahme do Narade, od Narade do Vyase.
because this great personalities want to establish, that everyone who wants to be an authority has to follow himself an authority.
Jer te velike ličnosti želele su da uspostave da svako ko želi da postane veliki autoritet mora da prihvati autoritet.
It's not like nowadays of many new age gurus, who don't tell anything of their origin from where they got the knowledge.
To je kao danas što je popularno u ovim modernim new age krugovima. Ti moderni guruji, oni uopšte ne pričaju odakle su dobili znanje.
So many of them say I'm self-enlightened, everything became revealed to me.
Mnogi od njih kažu ja sam samo prosvetljen. To mi je postalo znanje sve razotkriveno iznutra.
They even write books.
Čak pišu i knjige.
But in their books, they also write, if you understand this truth, what I'm writing, you don't have to read books anymore.
I onda kažu u svojim knjigama, ako shvatate ovo istinu koju vam ja sad pišem, ne morate da čitate više nikakve knjige.
So therefore, our point is why they write books. If they say, books is ultimately not needed.
I onda naša poenta je zašto oni uopšte pišu knjige, ako na kraju kažu knjige nisu potrebne.
So books are always prominent, because the literary incarnation of the Supreme Lord. The Lord incarnates himself in form of the Bhagavata Purana.
Međutim, knjige su uvek potrebne, jer one su literarna inkarnacija Boga, one su Bhagavata Purana.
Idam Bhagavatam Purana Brahma Samhitam Uttama Shloka Charitam Chakara Bhagavan Rishi Nishrayasaya Lokasya Danyam Svastayanam Mahat Krishna Svatama Bhagate Dharma Kyani Pisaha Kalavnasta Tishamesha Purana Kutunoditaha. So this Bhagavatam is literary incarnation of the Lord.
Ovaj Bhagavatam je književna inkarnacija Gospoda.
And it was compiled by the Lord himself in the form of a great rishi, Vyasadeva, Bhagavan Rishi.
I sastavio je u obliku Vyasadeve, velikog rišija.
And this meant, to purify, to conquer our false egos and purify our existence, and to bring us back to our roots, to the relationship with the Lord.
Namenjene su da pročiste naš lažni ja i da nas vrate do našeg korena svevišnje božanske ličnosti.
It is brilliant as the sun. If you are in the sunlight, everything becomes clear.
Sjajne su poput sunca i na suncu sve postaje kristalno jasno.
Therefore, when you read Bhagavata Purana, then everything becomes very clear, like the sun, like the daytime.
Onda, ako čitate Bhagavat Puranu, sve postaje jasno poput dnevnog svetla.
For it is all successful and all glorious.
I zbog toga je sve uspešan i sve savršen.
Yeah.
Da.
Clear?
Da li je jasno? Bhaktin Snežana said.
Oh,
yes.
Is it clear to the questioner?
Yes, she wrote. Yes, that have to ima smisla, kako to da kažem. Yes, it have a sense. Therefore, we have system parampara. Thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, it is a parampara, because an authority always needs also an authority. It's not independent.
Da, to je parampara. Autoritetu isto treba autoritet, on nije nezavisan.
Only the Supreme Personality of God, Krishna, he has nobody above himself.
Svevišnja božanska ličnost Krišna, on nema autoritet iznad sebe.
He's the supreme autocrat, supreme authority.
On je vrhovni autokrata, vrhovni autoritet.
Krishna is the supreme guru.
Zato je Krišna vrhovni guru.
Vyasadeva is Shakti Avesh avatar.
Vyasadeva Shaktya Vesha avatar.
It means especially empowered with a certain responsibility to establish this Vedic knowledge in this world.
I on je posebno opunomoćen da uspostavi vedsko znanje u ovom svijetu.
Something else what is also important to know is the Vedas are eternal.
Još nešto što je važno da znamo, a to je da su vede večne.
It's not that Srila Vyasadeva wrote something new.
Nije da je Šrila Vyasadev zapisao nešto novo.
It just became revealed to him, and so he wrote down from the higher inspiration, from the Lord.
On je zapisao samo ono što je dobio od više inspiracije, što ga je Gospod inspirisao.
So therefore Vedas are eternal, so sometimes they manifest, sometimes not manifest.
Tako da vede su večne, one se po neki put ispoljavaju, a po neki put ne.
And that's why the Lord always comes himself, or he sends one of his empowered devotees to establish this Vedic knowledge again.
I to je zbog čega Gospod ili dolazi sam ili šalje svoje opunomoćene bakte da bi uspostavili vedsko znanje.
But it's not a new invention. It's eternal. Vedic knowledge is eternal.
Ali to nije nešto novo, neki novi pronalazak. Vedsko znanje je večno.
It's not changeable.
Nije promenljivo.
Yeah, other question?
Da, još neko pitanje? Can I ask a question? You said, Guru Maharaj, that Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote that in Kali Yuga that will be the class of Dharmadvajis who have external symbols of religion, but internally are not making any purificatory process. And from other side, I remember that he would like that the time come when a high court judge will wear Vaishnava tilak. So on surface it seems contradictory. So can you explain it to us that we understand it properly? Rekao je duhovni učitelj da je Bhaktivinoda Thakur rekao da će se u Kali Yugi pojaviti Dharmadvaji, koji će biti ljudi koji će imati spoljašnje obilježja religije, ali iznutra neće slediti neki proces pročišćenja. A s druge strane znamo da je Bhaktivinoda Thakur isto rekao da će doći vrijeme kada će sudije Vrhovnog suda nositi vajšnavski tilak. I zamolio sam duhovnog učitelja da nam objasni tu na izgled protivrečnu situaciju.
The problem is not the religious symbols.
Problem nisu religiozni simboli.
That's okay, because every religion has its symbols. Is Vaishnavas have tilak, they have their hairstyle shaved.
Vaishnave imaju tilak, imaju svoju frizuru, evo vidite, svi smo ošišani, imamo repiće.
Everyone can recognize them, they're Vaishnavas.
Da bi svako mogao da nas prepozna, da smo Vaishnave.
The Mayavadis or Vedantis, they're completely shaved, no sikha, and with vertical lines, three vertical lines.
Mayavadi, oni su potpuno ošani na ćelavo i ne nose Vaishnava tilak, već 3 ovako vertikalne linije.
So every sampradaya or every school has a religion, congregation or religion has its symbols.
Svaka religija i svaka skupina ima neki svoj simbol.
But the problem is if we only, present these symbols externally, we present ourselves as very religious, but inside we are completely opposite.
Ali problem je ako s polja samo stavljamo te znakove religije, a iznutra smo nešto potpuno suprotno. To je problem.
That's a cheating propensity.
To je sklonost ka varanju.
Like externally, you represent yourself as a police, but inside you are actually a thief.
Kao kad možete s polja da se predstavljate kao policajac. Unutar streme ste lupom.
So, what you would say, Bhaktigranta? Is this honest?
Oh, very, very honest.
Yeah. Also, same way. So, what you say if somebody dresses himself as Vaishnava, but inside he's actually a rascal.
Yes, now I understand. Evo, pitao ove duhovni učitelji, šta bi ti rekao, Bhaktigranta, ako vidiš nekako s polja ko policajac, a iznutra lopov? Ja sam rekao, duhovni učitelji, sad sam shvatio o čemu se radi.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, good. That's all?
Let me see the chat if something new came. From Jayanti Devidasi. Is it so that Sri Krishna, da li je Sri Krishna, just to catch the, da li je Sri Krishna koji je Šri Jagannath na Vajkunta duhovnom svetu? I cannot understand. It's written on a little confusing way. Bakte, ja ne mogu ovo da prevedem, ne shvatam pitanje. Ako možeš, Mataji Jayanti, malo jasnije da ga napišeš.
She speaks English?
No, it's in Serbian.
But she speaks English?
Is Jagannath on Vaikuntha or Goloka?
Sorry?
Is Jagannath in Vaikuntha or in Goloka, Vrindavan?
Your name is Jayanti?
Anyway, I just try to...
I'm servant of Jayanti.
Jayanti first.
Evo, Jayanti Mataji, ali možda malo pojasniš, molim te, stvarno ne mogu da kapiram. Da li je Šri Krishna...
Prvo to što je Avaduta Prabhu rekao, da li je Jagannathovo, da kažemo, prebivalište na Vajkunta planetama ili u Goloka Vrindavani? Gospodin Jagriš je Jagannath, da li si razume?
Yes, now she clarified. Is it the Krishna who is Lord Jagannath? Is he live in Vaikuntha in spiritual world or on Goloka Vrindavan?
Okay, now I understand. The Avaduta, he just asked the question for Jayanti.
Da, sad sam I ja shvatio. Avaduta je pitao pitanje za Jayanti.
Actually, Jagannath is Krishna.
Zapravo, Jagannath je Krishna.
So if you worship Jagannath as Lord Chaitanya saw him as a cowherd boy, as Krishna, as the son of Nanda Maharaj.
Gospodin Chaitanya obožavao gospodina Jagannatha kao Krishnu, kao sina Nanda Maharađe.
Then you go to Goloka Vrindavan.
I ako obožavate na taj način, onda idete na Goloka Vrindavan.
But actually the mood of Jagannath is Dvaraka mood.
Ali zapravo raspoloženje i Jagannatha je raspoloženje Dvarake.
It's Aishwarya, awe and reverence.
To je raspoloženje strahopoštovanja.
He's worshipped like a king.
On se obožava poput kralja.
So for those who worship Jagannath in that mood, they go to Dvaraka.
I zato oni koji obožavaju Jagannatha u tom raspoloženju, oni odlaze u Dvaraku.
But from Priha Bhagavatamrita, I also heard from Sanatana Goswami that when Gopkumar went on the way to the to Goloka, that there's also a Jagannath Puri in the Vaikunthas.
Ali sećam se iz Priha Bhagavatamrite Sanatana Goswami kad sam čitao, na svom putu prema Goloki, Gopkumar je došao na jednu Vaikunta planetu gde je Jagannath Puri.
But as Gaudiya Vaishnava, you should go back to Krishna in Goloka.
Ali kao Gaudija Vaishnave trebate ići na Goloka Vrindavan kod Krishna.
So we should follow the vision and the process what Lord Chaitanya has taught us. He's our main, I would say, inspiration and acharya.
Trebate slediti raspoloženje I pravac koji nam je dao Šri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. On je naša glavna inspiracija I naš glavni acharya.
Because it's his sampradaya, we are Gaudiya sampradaya.
Mi smo u njegovoj Gaudija Sampradaji.
Gaudiya sampradaya means we are followers of Lord Chaitanya.
Gaudija Sampradaja znači mi smo sledbenici gospodina Chaitanya.
Lord Chaitanya established the worship of Radha Krishna, worship of Krishna in Goloka Vrindavan as a cowboy.
Gospodin Chaitanya je uspostavio obožavanje Rada Krišne i obožavanje Krišne sa Goloka Vrindavana kao dečaka pastira.
Serving him in the 4 kinds of rasas, Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, Madhurya.
I služenje njega kroz ove 4 rase ili vrste odnosa, Sakya, Vatsalya, Madhurya i Dasya. Yes, I mix a little.
Shantaras is not included because it's not an active ras without Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, Madhurya.
Šantarasa nije uključena jer ona nema smisla bez Dasje, Vatsalije, Madhurije i Sakje.
So service, I would say relationship with Krishna and Goloka is starting with Dasya.
Odnos sa Krišnom na Goloki počinje sa Dasjom.
Okay.
U redu?
Thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. That was Jayanti, huh?
That was Jayanti, yes. So,
okay, very good. Thank you.
Who is Subhadra if Krishna is Jagannath is Krishna in Vrindavan?
Subhadra not in Vrindavan.
When Jagannath is Krishna in Vrindavan, then who is for Lord Chaitanya Subhadra?
We speak about Jagannath, means we speak about Jagannath. Jagannath is Krishna. Baladev Baladev's brother of Krishna in Jagannath Puri is Balaram, Haladar. Hello.
Yes, I'm trying to connect. Avaduta just pop up with new questions, so I didn't have the time to understand it.
That's typical Avaduta, therefore his name, he got the proper name.
Ja sam rekao malo me zbudio Avaduta, jednog samo se pojavio s novim pitanjem, nisam imao vremena da se snađem, da vidimo o čemu se radi. I duhovni učitelj kaže, zato je dobio veoma prikladno ime, Sparda i Avaduta.
So that means Subhadra is Yoga Maya.
To znači da je Subhadra Yoga Maya.
Because she's Shakti Tattva.
Jer ona je Shakti Tattva.
Okay, now better we stop, you know.
I'm not so sure.
Okay, see you next Sunday, yeah? Hare
Okay.
Krishna.
Vidimo se sljedeće nedelje, Hare Krishna.
Good. Iti, Haribol.
Guru Maharaj, Hare Krishna.
Maitse, Haribolo.
Guru Maharaj, thank you. Hare Krishna. See you next Sunday.
Was it understandable for you?
Yes, no, very nice.
Yes, no.
You are the best. You are the best speaker for me. The best.
It was more ABC now, so introductory. Introduction. But sometimes also is needed.
Yeah.
Ali ponekad je I to potrebno.
Sweet, very sweet.
Not sour.
Okay. Thank you.
Like sour cream in sabji states nectar.
Sour cream in sabji.
Yeah, it tastes nectar. Sour cream, it's sour, but in sabji, it's nectar.
Really?
Yeah. Yes.
Heavy for the liver, no?
Only on Sundays.
Only on Sunday. That's good. Good then. Hare Krishna. Glory to Prabhupada. Sankirtan Yakya Ki.
Jai.
Have a good week, Naya.
Thank
Now-
you.
And Bhakti Granta, get out the books.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
And the rest of the devotees also. We have opportunity and support. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.